Near the top of every list of the greatest American poets, you will find Walt Whitman. Some even compare him to poets such as Homer and Shakespeare. One of the themes Whitman wrote about the most was individualism. Through the poems, when I heard the learned astronomer, I hear America singing. I saw in Louisiana a live oak growing. Oh me! Oh life! And crossing Brooklyn Bridge, Whitman linked the idea of being your own person with nature and the unique voice you can contribute to society. Walt Whitman was born in 1819 to rural farmers on Long Island. After moving to Brooklyn in the early 1830s, he worked for a slew of different newspaper companies. During this time, Whitman was an avid supporter of abolition. Whitman's commitment to abolition reflected his profound love for America, and during the Civil War, he worked at a Washington, D.C. hospital, tending to both Union and Confederate soldiers. Walt Whitman was one of the first poets to abandon the traditional meter and rhyme patterns of his contemporaries. He pioneered the use of free verse in his poems to better convey a sense of freedom. Because there were no constraints on how he had to draft his poems, he could show every thought and feeling. Whitman's primary piece of literature was Leaves of Grass, originally published in 1855. Whitman continued to edit and add to the collection till he died. One poem that exemplifies the themes of individualism and nature is I Saw in Louisiana a Live Oak Growing. In the poem, the speaker describes encountering a live oak tree in Louisiana that stands alone, with moss hanging from its branches. The tree appears rugged, independent, and vibrant, with joyous leaves of dark green. The speaker is drawn to the tree, seeing himself in its solitary existence. However, he expresses wonder at how the tree can be joyous and thrive alone without companionship, contemplating his own need for connections with others. The poem relates the ideas of individuality and nature by having the tree be a metaphor for individual strength and resilience. In the lines, but I wondered how it could utter joyous leaves standing alone there without its friend near, for I knew I could not. The speaker compares himself to the tree, and how while the tree can stand in solitude, the speaker would fail without his companions. In the next lines, and I broke off a twig with a certain number of leaves upon it, and twined around it a little moss, and brought it away, and I have placed it in sight in my room. It is not needed to remind me as of my own dear friends, for I believe lately I think of little else than of them. The speaker takes part of the tree with him to remind himself to be strong even when alone and separated from friends. Walt Whitman's impact on American poetry is undeniable, and there are very few poets that have the same influence as him. Through his innovative use of free verse and exploration of themes such as individualism, nature, and societal contribution, Whitman revolutionized American poetry. As Whitman invites readers to appreciate the uniqueness of each individual and recognize their role in the collective human experience, his legacy endures as an enduring celebration of the diversity and interconnectedness that defines the American spirit.